We're now facing into a year, Julia, where we will carry less than two-thirds of our original passenger projections. We carry less than 100 million passengers. The original budget this year was 154 million. So we'll carry about 35% less passengers. We're going to have to reduce the size of and scale of our operation. We think the minimum that we need is about a 15% reduction in pilots and cabin crew and a 20% pay cut for everybody else. And that's the only way we see of being able to survive what is this, once in a century pandemic. We thought the minimum we needed was 25% job cuts. We said, look, how can we pare that back? And we think it's a combination of lower or smaller job cuts, about 15%, to account for a 30% decline in traffic. But everybody else will have to accept pay cuts. So it's a balance of the two. How do we keep the most number of people in jobs? We employ 18,000 people today. We will still employ 15,000 people today. But remember, we're in a situation whereby all of our pilots and cabin crew for the last 3 months have had no work whatsoever. We've had no flights. And that is going to continue for some months to come. We've spent the last 4 weeks working about the return to service. We expect to be back flying in July, but only about 50% of the schedule, August, maybe 70% of the schedule. Now, none of that is certain. But what is certainly likely to happen is we're not going to be able to fly our full summer schedule. In October, we get to the winter schedule, which is usually only 60% of the summer schedule now anyway. So why now? It's because we know we're not going to have jobs for these pilots and these cabin crew for the remainder of this year, probably until the summer of 2021. We have staff based in about 26 bases across Europe. So we are participating in the payroll support schemes in almost every EU country. Now, that requires us to top up pay, and we're doing those top ups as we are, for example, in the UK. But, and we can do that and support that for 3-4 months. We can't do it for 9, 12 months, 18 months.